children.
I mean, there's no chance you're going to win when you support evil.
Inalienable, constitutional, God-given rights for all beings.
That's the one argument I have.
Did someone get a milkshake?
That's the argument I have against this side, is that they don't have the signs, the flags, and like the infrastructure that you guys have.
That's true. We look way better. And our language is way better.
This side is very it is discovering.
I mean, they've been silent, so I appreciate that. They haven't yelled at us. I try yelling at them, but that's because they are silent. They don't talk to each other. And then I try and tell them that BLM is racist, and that being racist in 2020 is probably the last thing you want to be.
I think it's the last thing you should ever be.
Right, but like, today is like the #1 day. If you're racist, they're coming for your job, they're coming for your home, and then we have all these racists just...
Sounds like a dystopian.
All right, so we've already covered how Joe Biden has raped people who Epstein trafficked to him.
Yep. Next story.
Let's also talk about the 1994 crime bill, largely written by Joe Biden, which is why so many people of color have been disproportionately locked up for non-violent crimes, aka the legal system, codes and statutes. Yeah, Kamala Harris locked up 1,500 people for smoking a plant that God gave the earth because she couldn't bring big convictions, and so she made herself look good by locking up people who smoke a plant.
And you guys probably like Kamala more than Biden.
I don't know.
They're both pretty bad.
If you look at the laws of our land, it's do no harm. Common law is do no harm. And as long as you don't harm anybody, you're free to do whatever you want. I've been arrested twice. One time out at Standing Rock, just for standing on the front lines. Also got arrested for driving without any plates on my car, because I wasn't driving, I was traveling, which we all have the constitutional, inalienable right to do. Travel in our own private property. And there are Supreme Court rulings. I got it right here as my screensaver.
It's like, are you guys going to fill the courts? Even the precise. I'm not going to answer that. It's like, they really, your side really doesn't want to answer about back in the court.
Shuttleworth versus the state of Birmingham confirmed as a Supreme Court ruling that said that a state cannot take a right, a God-given right, and turn it into a privilege, and then make it a license to have that privilege. The state doesn't have that right. So we all have the right to drive, but we're not driving, we're traveling in our own private property. You're only driving if you are using the road for commerce and you are profiting from using the road for commerce. Think of FedEx, UPS, taxi cab drivers, everyone else. You're just pursuing your inalienable rights, freedom, and happiness on your way to grandma's house.
They've asked Biden, Harris,
so Joe Biden wrote the crime bill that allowed a lot of people to be locked up for a long time for non-violent crimes, which isn't actually a crime, it's just the corporate realm, the admiralty jurisdiction, the Crown of England, the bar, the British accredited registry, the foreign esquires for the Crown of England. Love you though. We hope you have a better day. We hope you feel good about your life every day.
They just avoid the question.
No, we're not. We're fighting to protect the world from child sex traffickers. Have fun with CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC. Even Fox News, everybody. Fox News, owned by News Corp, owned by Rupert Murdoch, a luminary in the Bilderberg Group. We could also talk about Richard. The Trump 2020 bus. Grateful for his service today.
Otherwise, the Supreme Court's going to let America go incredible left, incredibly liberal.
So the Supreme Court justices being appointed by Trump are there to uphold the Constitution. What does the Constitution say? It says that we all have God-given, inalienable constitutional rights that cannot be taken away. We are not a democracy, we're actually a constitutional republic. Here's the problem with democracy. You control the media, you brainwash the majority of the population, they can vote to take away the rights of the minority. However, in a constitutional republic, which we are, we all have God-given rights that can never be taken away. And that's really the essence, the difference between the Republican and Democrat Party. The Democrat Party used the KKK as their paramilitary arm. They were fighting to prevent black people from voting. It's funny how much we don't learn in school. It's funny how much we don't hear about on the media. Maybe because the Rockefeller Foundation in 1902 created the General Board of Education. General Board of Education has been manipulating and creating our education ever since, and they've been brainwashing us.
America was going to have its record-breaking.
Women's liberation, women's rights, of course, we're all equal. We're all equal.
So well.
Actually, probably women should be more cherished than men because they actually bring life into this world, the mothers of our children. But the Rockefellers led women's lib, and they had two reasons. One was to be able to tax twice the population, because so far they're only primarily taxing men. But the bigger reason was to get the kids out of the house earlier and get them into the indoctrination camps sooner, so that they could brainwash them to see reality in a way that wouldn't challenge their hegemony over the rest of us.
People that have gone into like, release a virus because they control a lot of people. They can do a bunch of things. We can close down the smaller businesses so they don't make money. And
alright, so we covered Biden being involved in child sex trafficking. The Senate just put out a report that said that Hunter Biden was also involved in human trafficking and prostitution rates.
they made something.
Trump got impeached for a quote-unquote quid pro quo. Look up Joe Biden at the Council on Foreign Relations bragging to the president of the Council on Foreign Relations, his name is Richard Haas, about how he flew to Kiev and threatened to withhold $1 billion in aid unless they fired Victor Shokin, the Inspector General, who is investigating crimes against Burisma, crimes at Burisma, the oil company, because Democrats care so much about the environment, right? Corrupt oil company. Joe Biden flew in, said, hey, we're not going to give you this $1 billion unless you fire this guy that's investing in my son. And what happened when Trump brought this up to debate? Well, Chris Wallace shut him down. You look at Epstein's flight logs, Chris Wallace is on Epstein's flight logs.
The Obama administration.
What?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
What?
I don't know why they're funding scientist labs.
If you look up the celebrities that have endorsed Biden, they're on Epstein's flight logs. None of them on Epstein's flight logs have endorsed Trump. Why is that? Because Trump's leading a global effort to abolish and eradicate human and child sex traffickers from the earth. And those are his own words, not mine. Why didn't you hear about that on the media? Well, because the media is involved in the global pedophile blackmail network. Moving on to coronavirus, I feel like we should just keep hitting these. Yesterday I looked up the numbers, and if you look at the average deaths per month of this year, they're 1,000 less than 2018 and 2,000 less than last year, which means that the Democrats want to shut down our country and shut down our churches and shut down our schools and shut down our business and cripple the economy and bankrupt America for a virus that statistically hasn't killed any more people than on average died in our country. So 136,000 average this year, 138,000 average last year, and 137,000 average in 2018. Biden and Harris just go after Trump about failing to address the coronavirus, but if we had failed, wouldn't there be more deaths this year than the last 2 years? This one statistic is all anybody should need to realize that this has been a psychological operation organized and carried out by the international bankers. You can look at the lockstep report from the Rockefeller Foundation back in 2010. They talked about a global pandemic stripping Americans and the world of their constitutional God-given rights, having China be a model for the world, having them implement draconian measures. And then here's the key. Even after the pandemic fades, they wanted the draconian measures such as masks, social distancing, whatever else are they doing? You know what's next. The vaccines are next. You guys going to get the vaccines? You guys going to get those forced vaccines? They're not going to be forced because Trump's our president. Thank God, literally.
Ran by the same crew that does Event 201 that ran this whole...
Yep, I made a video today, and that was the next thing after the Rockefeller Foundation. My fellow journalist here knows the information. Event 201, the Gates Foundation, in concert with the Bank of International Settlements, International Monetary Fund, and the Global Banking Cartel, they did a summit. They did a pandemic practice where they talked about what they would do in the case of a pandemic. And guess what? They're rolling out exactly that and doing their best to. Trump has defunded the World Health Organization. That was pretty clear. That was pretty key. Yes.
Yeah, there is violence on both sides.
I am a professional researcher. It's what I do for my living. I've been a journalist since 2014 full-time. Since 2012, though, I've been reading books, listening to articles, whistleblower testimony, insider testimony, survivor testimonies. The world is so much different than what we learned in school and here on the media.
You got a social media outlet?
Oh, yes, I do. I was on Instagram as Lion of Christ, and then last week, without any reason or explanation, Instagram totally banned me. I can't even log in. I can't even create another account. And I imagine I'll get it back after the election. They've banned a lot of people who are talking about the things that I'm talking about: child sex trafficking, coronavirus being a psychological operation to strip us of our God-given rights. And it was Lion of Christ.
4 more years, right?
Yeah.
What? Come on, Trump 2020.
Just
4
walk.
more years.
Just doing my best to walk with Jesus in my heart and have a relationship with Him.
It would be different to say non-denominational because that's actually
Just trying to be purely and spiritual. But just real quick, truthuncensored.news. We created that platform within a day of getting censored. Truthuncensored.news, and that's where I'm going to post all my videos and news updates. And it's just it's a news site now, and they can't be censored.
I grew up.
Oh, fuck you!
Hey, we love you. We hope you have a better day.
Damn, I thought those girls were gonna break more of a suit.
This dude's spitting knowledge.
Oh no, he's a very smart guy. Did he talk about how his stuff just got wiped?
Yep.
That's what happens when you speak the truth, man. You're
Censorship.
not allowed-
Censorship is scary, even if it's censoring lies.
Yeah, and
There's no slippery slope you can go down. You can't just censor what you don't
They
like
censor
because you say
doctors
it's a
at this
lie.